Right then, people, we're back inside the building. How are we doing? It's just gone 5 minutes past 9 here on Trickstar Radio. It's Tuesday morning, and we are entering interview hour. Out to the locked-in crew each and every time. The first of today's guests, I'm really excited to get into a conversation with someone who really has been kind of leading the way with a kind of UK-based sound, especially recently dipping into a more kind of garage sound as well with his brand new remix, which we do currently have on the Trickstar playlist. Man like Jay Faded is in the building. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. It's good to have you on the show. This was quite a last-minute one in comparison to how we tend to do these interviews. Normally, I'm booked in like a month and a half ahead of time, but we saw, obviously, that you had the new remix out last week. We saw you had a new single out this coming week, so we thought, you know what, let's get it cracking.
I appreciate that, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, man. Well, we've got a lot to discuss. We've got a lot to get into. Obviously, the kind of first thing I want to kind of dip into is this remix that you've put together for M1llionz's track Billions. Now, obviously, this is one of the biggest drill tunes of the year. It has a sort of garage flavour to it as well. What kind of gave you the inspiration to get involved on this remix?
Well, one day it was over summer in August time. We were chilling in the garden, and I heard the song, and one of my friends just said, "Jay, you should remix it." And it just happened to come together really well. Like, it's got that kind of summer vibe already with a little sample, so to put my flip on it, and it turned out quite nice.
Yeah, man, definitely. No, I agree. I definitely think it's one of those remixes of a drill tune that kind of makes sense, you know?
Yeah. It was really enjoyable to do, to be fair, as well.
So kind of with that then, what was obviously there's a kind of garage feel to the tune to begin with, as we were saying earlier. Was that the thing that kind of pushed you into giving it like a full kind of garage spin? Because that's a little bit out of the zone for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, so I listen to quite a lot of music, and I've been inspired by a musician recently called FKJ. He's a French producer. He does like a lot of chill jazzy stuff, so I was quite inspired in that, so that's why there's you could hear quite little pianos and the little weird violins in the background. So yeah, he was the main inspiration for that tune, I've got to say. Yeah, that makes sense, man. I mean, obviously we're big fans of FKJ down here. It's French Kiwi Juice, isn't it? The full name, I believe. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see that kind of inspiration coming in with the tune, and like obviously with garage kind of exploding in the way it has done over the last couple of years. Did you find it quite easy to kind of slip into that sort of soundscape?
Yeah. So though I mainly produce bassline, I always dabble in other genres just so I can stay up to date. So yeah, it was quite natural, it's quite nice. Nothing was really forced, and I think the production was actually done within like 48 hours. So yeah, it ran really smoothly, to be fair. It was quite nice to have a little change and do something different.
Wicked, man. I mean, that must be quite fun to almost kind of almost kind of like just kind of break through the boundaries, you know? It's almost like it's like taking the shackles off a little bit and just kind of going, you know what, I'm going to make what I want to make today.
Yeah. I think everyone was a bit shocked at first, like the kind of sound I went for. Everyone was expecting some dirty wobble, but you know, I thought I'd switch up. You know, I don't want to be like held to like just like the one boundary of making bassline. Like, I would like to experiment and let people know I can do other music and have fun with it. You know.
Of course, man. Of course, and that's what it's all about. And obviously, there you just said that like people were a little bit shocked at first. Like, how have you found the response to this tune in general over the past couple of weeks?
To be fair, like it's been a good response. Like I said, obviously everyone was expecting the normal J Faded wobbles, but I think like it was a nice, pleasant surprise. Something a little bit different. Like I've got a whole massive catalogue coming out full of like bass wobblers, so something a little bit different just to sauce things up. So yeah, it's been a nice, warm response, to be fair. Wicked, man. That's what we love to hear. We love to hear it. And have you managed to get the remix into the hands of M1llionz himself? Well, we retweeted it, so I'm guessing he must have heard the video. Yeah. So I think so. I believe so. That's good to see, man. I mean, kind of with this, as I was saying earlier, this is one of those remixes that to me really does kind of make sense. The way it's kind of crafted, the kind of themes behind the tune, anyway. The fact the original was kind of branded as a garage drill tune, and then you've kind of gone, actually, no, let's make it a proper garage tune. Yeah. Let's make it a proper UKG. And so kind of with that, like, can you see yourself kind of dipping into a lot more of these sort of more sort of melodic remixes over time? Yeah, I suppose I can, to be fair. Like, I think now everyone kind of will know that don't just expect like bassline. I reckon so. Yeah, like I did release a garage tune like last year as well. So Yeah, definitely not something I'll say no to. So I'll definitely be dropping loads of different genres over the coming months.
Wicked. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. I like hearing the expansion, man. I like hearing that the stuff's kind of growing. And obviously there's a really high quality level to this as well. Like, how, just to kind of delve a little bit deeper into this, like, how did you find working with that M1llionz vocal? Because obviously he's someone who's really kind of exploded this year across 2020, possibly the biggest explosion of any artist in the UK, realistically, over this 2020 period. Like, how did you find working with that vocal specifically?
Honestly, it literally just flowed so nicely, like just chopping up the sample, even for like when he starts rapping and it goes into like the garage remix, like it just fitted so perfectly. I didn't expect it to as well, because sometimes it could be a little bit funny with like drill beats over garage stuff because they do different BPMs, but this one just sat so nicely and the idea just flowed like just. It was lovely. I loved it. Yeah,
that's you can kind of tell with it, man. Like the whole layout of the tune, it feels like a tune that was fun to make.
Yeah, it was, man. It was really fun experimenting with it and that. So yeah, I had a great time making that song.
Wicked, man. Okay, just a couple of more questions on this before we sort of move on to getting into the tune itself, because I know I'm very keen to listen to it now. Obviously, we've spent about 20 minutes describing it. But yeah, I want to kind of talk a little bit more. Obviously, there's a vocal kind of there's a big vocal over this tune. Would you be kind of looking to do a bit more sort of original vocal stuff in the coming months? Like, would you want to work with more vocalists?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So over lockdown, like everyone's had so much more time on hands, and I thought, it's time to level up and get some more artists involved. So yeah, I've got an EP dropping next year, and the main tune will be featuring a good rapper from my town, which is Northampton. I've got another good singer, which she's been on a couple garage tracks. I'm sure people recognise her as well. And
I can hazard a guess to who that is. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I'm going to ask you when we're listening. I'm going to ask you when we're listening.
Yeah. And I'm working with an Australian singer as well for a future release in November. So yeah, I love working with vocalists. It's just finding the right ones, because sometimes they can be a little bit too long and not hit the deadlines. Yeah, no, fully. I fully feel that, man. Right then, we're going to get into this tune in just a second. Then, where can people grab this one from? Because it's out now for free download, I believe. Yeah, free download upon Deep Pot's YouTube, and you can also stream it on SoundCloud as well.
Wicked. That's what we love to hear. Right then, we're going to get into this one now then, people. Don't go anywhere. It's just coming up to 13 minutes past 9. Before we get into this one, actually, I always forget to ask, because I'm trying to teach myself to remember to ask this question every single time. What is the best social media app for people to get hold of you on?
I would probably say Twitter, Instagram, all of them. I'm active on all of them.
Which one? And okay, cool. So what's the address to get hold of you on?
J Faded UK.
Lovely stuff. We're going to get into this one now then, people. This one is the J Faded remix of Billions by M1llionz, one of the biggest drill tunes of the year, reworked in spectacular garage fashion. This one currently featuring on our Trickstar Radio playlist. The only reason you haven't heard it already today is because we're playing it right now for you, so don't go anywhere. It's Trickstar Radio. It's Breakfast with Clover.
With CubCamTV.
Trickstar Radio.